Live. Let's go. Let's go. We are live, my friends. We are live. We are back from Avalanche Summit, London. I'm going to let all you folks stream on in, stream on in. We have a really, really exciting episode for you folks today. Something extremely innovative has happened. In today's episode, we're going to dive into Core Concierge, the new personal assistant built right into your Core wallet. Right, that's what I said. Core. That's what I said. Personal assistant, my friends. It's like having Siri, but for your on-chain actions, managing everything from swaps to bridging with a nice personalized touch. We'll also showcase the brand new mobile UI, and of course, we're going to give you a full demo and then talk a little bit about what this means for your DeFi experience. And hey, onboarding's a lot easier now. So the DeFi experience for everyone in the world. I'm joined by some absolute stars. We got some absolute stars in the building here. We have my friend Morse, Senior Technical Product Manager over at Avalabs. Say what's up, my friend.
Hello. Thanks for having us, Breevie. I appreciate it. Love to talk all things core.
Hey, thanks for being willing to pop on, man. This is super innovative. I can't wait to talk more so we can dive into this. I'm also joined by my friend Amanda Marquis, Product Support Manager over at Avalabs. Say what's up, my friend.
How's it going, everybody? Great to talk to you again.
Yes, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for being willing to join us. I'm not going to tease the folks too much. I'm going to just jump straight on into things. And Mac, can you give our listeners just a high-level overview of what you folks have built as far as Core Concierge is concerned?
Yeah, absolutely. So super excited about this one. It came up recently, and we got it out to everybody last week. So if you haven't seen it, it is in the app. Make sure you have the latest version of the extension downloaded, and you can see it in the UI and interact with it. So super fun feature. It is AI powered, as a lot of things are these days. Very interesting time to be in tech for sure. And the best way to think about this feature is going to be just an alternative way to interact with the Core UI. So what can Core Concierge do for you? It's going to be any flow that Core already offers through the UI. So if you don't want to click through those flows, or maybe you don't understand what those flows do, but you're more comfortable interacting with a chatbot in natural language, you can open up the Core Concierge window. You can tell it to swap, you can tell it to send, it can create new accounts for you, it can connect to dApps. I think we're going to get into all this stuff. So I don't want to, scoop ourselves too much here, but basically if you want to talk to Core and you want Core to do things for you, Concierge is your go-to.
Dude, Mac, you said something like extremely important. I have to spotlight real quick. We're talking about natural language here, my friends, natural language. And actually, kind of speaking in that vein, can you talk a little bit about what it's like in like the current landscape of things, and then how kind of Core Concierge is solving some of the problems that people might not even know about today?
Yeah, for sure. So I think, natural language is kind of a big series of two words, but it's just, spoken language, conversational language, things that you would use in kind of everyday conversation. I think the heart of the issue is that crypto is complicated. We've seen that, anybody that's been here knows that explorers are hard to read, what's a contract address, what's a transaction, what's gas, things like that. The nice thing about Core Concierge is that you don't have to understand a lot of those things. You can just tell it to send, 5 AVAX to your second account, and it'll take care of that for you. And then you're going to sign that transaction eventually. So I think wallets have done a lot in the space. Core specifically has done a lot in the space to, simplify things and make things easier, especially for our newer users, folks that are just coming to crypto for the first time in the last, maybe a few months, maybe years. And this is the next step in that kind of journey where we're further simplifying things, making it easier for people, reducing that learning curve and increasing adoption.
Actually, let's dive a little bit further into like how we are kind of making things easier, like why it's important as far as like onboarding users is concerned.
Yeah, for sure. So when users get into Core, and they get some assets, so maybe they've bought some AVAX through our buy feature. I think there's a question they ask themselves of like, okay, what do I do now? And that's a question that they can ask to the AI assistant. And the AI assistant can say, hey, I can help you with swapping. You can swap your new AVAX to some new tokens. I can help you with sending. Maybe you want to send it to a different account. I can help you with dApps. We can open up Trader Joe. We could do some swaps over there, maybe some liquidity pooling, or maybe Banky to do liquid staking. These are all things that the AI can help you with, and Core Concierge ultimately can get users to work with.
So, and real quick, I have to ask you this too. Like, why is this kind of like AI abstraction layer like so important to like making this experience less complicated for the everyday user?
Yeah, I think it's important because ultimately users may not know what they're looking for, right? And so the AI agent can really help them kind of navigate that, get them to a destination, do it easy, and do it with feedback that's understandable for the average person. Like if you go do a swap on your own, you might not know where to go. Like you might not understand the swap feature. That's okay. You might be a new user, but the AI agent can, tee you up there. Core Concierge can help you with that. And then also it'll help with error handling. So if something's wrong, it's going to tell you like, hey, this is, failing in a specific way or something like that. So you could say, oh, like I want to swap these tokens, but maybe you don't have that token. The Core Concierge will tell you that. They'll say, hey, you don't have this token. Do you want to swap for it? And you can do that way. So it's offering a more natural way to interact with crypto.
That's really cool. So it'll actually kind of give you insights in that way too, where it's like you're trying to swap 5 AVAX, but you only have 4.5 AVAX. You need to actually buy some more AVAX first, and then you can do the swap.
Exactly. Yep.
So cool. And I feel like that's super necessary. Like a lot of the times, we're all kind of crypto focused people. We've been in kind of this space for a long time. So I think a lot of us just don't think about kind of how difficult it is for an everyday user, somebody that's kind of brand new getting into the space. But I remember my onboarding experience. I did everything myself with some articles, and I lost money immediately. Now, and just from sending to the wrong address, or like I think I sent it to the right address, but wrong network or something like that. And that money's gone forever. Now, luckily, I didn't let that experience, deter me from continuing on with crypto. I was actually kind of smart and did like a test transaction first. So I didn't lose too much. But I feel like, there are many people out there who might have had a similar onboarding experience or had an experience where it was just overall way too difficult in general for them to get started. And that's kind of the thing that I love about, what the folks over there at Core have done, what the Core team has done, is kind of like taking this super complicated layer of, hey, you have to get your exchange account, then from exchange account over to send it over here, but you have to figure out what a network is and all these different networks, and is this the right network? Okay, now that I figured that out, what application is this thing that I'm trying to get actually on? Now I have to figure that piece out. Really, really love what you folks have built, because you're just kind of taking away that difficulty for the everyday user, and I can predict in my mind this can help with further adoption, like mass adoption, right? Like not just us kind of crypto nerds. But I don't want to tease the folks too much out there. I do kind of want to get into things a little bit. I want to show them this thing, right? I want them to see like how the UI looks and everything. So if you folks don't mind, can we kind of drop straight into the mobile demo?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go
Awesome.
ahead and unveil this thing.
Awesome. You pop this thing up on stage, and boom, we're ready to go. Like, this thing looks beautiful already.
All right. So this is our new mobile experience. We shipped this last week as well. So there's some announcements go out. If you haven't seen it, make sure that you update your app to the latest. We're on iOS and Android. But basically what we've done is we've rebuilt this thing to be super user-friendly and super slick, very modern, and it can do everything. So what we've got going on here, this is the portfolio page. You're going to see all your assets across any network that is available in Core. So that's all the major L1s. That's the C chain, the P chain, X chain, and then lots of other L1s as well, Ethereum, Arbitrum, Optimism, things like that. You've also got your NFTs. So you've got a cool little view here where you can see, grid view of what you've got. Here is the core NFT from the London Summit. You can see it's in here. You can send it to anyone you want to. You can also set it as your avatar, which is a cool feature we have introduced. You can see the avatar here, and you can use one of your NFTs. If you don't have any NFTs, we've got a couple of pre-filled avatars for you to use. So you can see that being switched over here. And then in this settings window, you've got access to all the controls that you might need for your wallet. So you've got your accounts here. You can manage your accounts, add accounts, delete accounts, rename them, check your balances, grab an address out of here for the various chains that we support. We've got a search function if you need to find one, if you're doing like 20 accounts. Some of our users have quite a few. And then you can change the active account. And you can also hide your balances too with the privacy mode button there. Moving through the controls, you've got access to anything you want. Big one's going to be theme. I know we have some dark mode fans in crypto, so we do have a dark mode for you. We also have a light mode, which I think looks particularly good in this redesign. I use it personally. I'm usually a dark mode guy, but I actually really like the way this looks, so I use light mode on Core. From here, you can get into our track feature. So you're going to get a look at all the trending tokens on the C chain right now. So any kind of meme stuff that's coming out of the arena, some exciting things going on there. You're going to get a lot of those on that page, and you'll be able to swap them directly from that page. From there, you can look at broader market stuff. You've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the big names are in here. You can check prices, check movements, get a pulse on what's going on. And then you can also favorite tokens as you go. Moving on into the stake piece here. Oh, I guess we're doing the browser. So we have an in-app browser. You can connect to any dApp that you want to. So LFJ, Aave, Benki, kind of anything you can think about, Gogo Pool. We've got a couple of suggested ones and then some learning articles here. If you want to figure out how to do things, we've got a link for some NFTs, OpenSea, JPEGs, Salver down there as well. And yeah, basically it's a fully onboard browser. Do whatever you need to and connect to the right dApps to make things happen. We also have a bunch of in-app actions. So swap is one of them. You have full access to swap between any tokens on the C chain. We also support Ethereum. We've got our gasless feature in here. So if you want to do any transactions through Core, we're going to pay for the gas for you. So if you don't have any Avox, that's totally fine. Just make sure that toggle is enabled there. And then there's a few others you can see at the top. So buy, receive.
Can I interrupt? Can I interrupt you really quick, Mac? I just want to say from the gasless transactions perspective, like I just absolutely love this move. Because one of the things that it's super hard from an onboarding perspective is that first transaction. It's going from that exchange to your wallet and then now buying something. And with Core specifically, you can go ahead and continue like you're used to, sign up with it, continue with Google, sign up with everything like you're used to. And then now there's not even gas. So you don't even have to worry about, okay, now I have to get this thing loaded up. Like you can just, if I'm not mistaken, you can just start interacting.
Totally. Yeah. So that was the point of this feature, was that if you've ever used a new L1, it's immensely frustrating when you like bridge your funds or you buy funds and you show up and you don't have the native gas token. If you're lucky, you can ask a friend like, hey, can you send me some gas? But not everybody has that option and your funds are effectively stuck. So, in the worst case, you have to go to an exchange and like buy the gas token and send it to yourself. I've experienced this. I've been frustrated by it. I know others have as well. So with the gasless feature, you don't need to do any of that. Like you can buy or bridge in USDC or any other token, and we're going to pay for any kind of transaction that you need to do. So if you need to swap that into Avox, or if you need to, send that to another address or anything like that, we'll cover it. All good. And you can do anything you need to on the C chain.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, man. I just had to point that out because I just think that's like absolutely amazing. Especially another thing that probably has happened to a million people out there is you accidentally send all of your AVAX or stake all of your AVAX, and then now you don't have any gas.
Yep. Yep. I've done that one too, where
Yeah.
you like liquid stake all of it, you burn your gas, and then it's effectively stuck. So that problem goes away. You shouldn't have that if you use Core. If you use other wallets, you'll still have that problem, but with us, you won't.
Excellent. Let's keep on going with this thing. I think we're on the bridging now too.
Yeah, so we've got our bridge page here. You can, select tokens to bridge between the C chain Ethereum as well as the C chain and Bitcoin, and then of course, backwards. We also have an option for our partner Holiday here. If you want to bring funds directly to an L1, you can tap into that and use that as well. Particularly good for the gaming focused stuff. Moving through here, you got a networks selector. So if you want to use a specific network, you can just flick that on in here. We're going to automatically enable any networks you have balances on. So shouldn't have to come in here too often, but if you want that control, you do have it. And then
in comparison for MetaMask or something, you would have to add a custom network, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so the flow with MetaMask is particularly painful. You've got to add networks and tokens. We're going to do all that for you. So if you have a token, we'll show it. If you're on a network, it's enabled. It's all loaded in there. Especially for L1s, discoverability on some of those things can be a little bit hard. So if there's an L1 on Avalanche, more than likely it's in Core. We already have it. Come check us out. And
to my friend Edwin out there, we're demoing the mobile app right now, my friend. Just saw your comment. Sorry about that. You got it, my friend.
Cool. Yeah, so we've got the rest of the settings in here. We've got notifications. We've got contacts. You can get updates on price movements, product announcements, stuff like that. Staking, if your stake's up, we're going to tell you so you can come in and get your rewards and maybe start a new stake. I think that might take us to the end of the demo here. Yeah, Amanda's saying yes. Amanda built this demo, so thank you very much, Amanda, for getting this set up for us.
Shout out, Amanda. Really, really appreciate you. Like this is absolutely excellent. There's just so many different like problems that it solved. Problems that I guess like us crypto folk don't think about too much. We've already kind of been through the pains, and then so now we're kind of good. But I mean, immediately if you onboard a new person, like you start to remember. It's like a really bad memory, actually. So I really, really appreciate you and the core team for like specific. It seems to be you seem to be specifically focused on making things a lot easier for the everyday person. And I don't really think there's very many teams out there in the wallet sector that are doing that. So I really, really appreciate you.
I'm glad you bring that up, Breevie, because it is something that we focus on very heavily. And, you said you had those experiences where you lost money and, you're really sad. And that was the beginning of crypto. And you stuck around, you're resilient, but not everybody is, right? Like that would turn off a lot of users. So that's some stuff that we're trying to work on. We're trying to get people to stay in crypto when they, come into crypto. We don't want them leaving because they have poor experience.
Exactly. And speaking about abstracting things away and taking away these poor experiences, you've gone even one step further from the UI, and now you've released Core Concierge. And we got a demo of that, my friends. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up. Let's go ahead and get this up here. Let me go. Oh, wait, we got to remove that first, and then boom. Boom, here we go.
All right. How is it going, everybody? So as Mac and Breevie said earlier, Core Concierge is available in the latest version of Core Extension. So if you don't see it quite yet, make sure your extensions are up to date. And if you still don't see it on the latest version, if you click on the menu and go into Advanced, you will see the Core Concierge toggle right there where you can toggle it on if for some reason it defaulted to off. But if you click on it, you will see a module pops up where Core Concierge is available that you can chat with it. And I'll start with just asking it what's the commands. And it will provide a list of everything available that Core Concierge can do for you within the wallet. As a heads up, we do have a couple support articles available on support.core.app that does break down all of these as well with some example prompts and what information needs to be fed to it, especially for things like create a contact. So that way users know what exactly they need to provide to it for it to save the contact correctly. If we switch to Bitcoin, we can prompt to that in the app and it will say, oh, perfect, we've switched it to the Bitcoin network. And as Max said earlier, it does have some error messaging involved too. So if we say, oh, swap 1 USDC to a Vox, it will throw that error message saying, hey, really sorry, can't do that for you. We're not connected to the right network. So you got to switch back to make sure that you are able to do that firsthand. So if we ask it to switch it to Avalanche C chain, it will swap it right back to the correct network. And then we can go back in and say, swap USDC for AVAX. What it will do is it will think on that prompt and then you will get the transaction approval window popped up. Obviously, users will still have to approve the transaction. It does not do it automatically for you, just so that way you can review all of the details beforehand before clicking that confirmation button and doing things with your funds. So you see the difference here. We're swapping 3 USDC for the AVAX. As we also chatted about with the mobile demo, the get free gas option is available in the extension too. You can always turn that on and then click the swap button. It will go through the approval process. It will bring you back to the concierge screen after it does that confirmation. Apologies, my internet's a little bit slow, so it might take a second, but once it is done, it brings you back to this pending stage and says, okay, I initiated that swap for you. One of the other things you can do too is switch to the different accounts within the network itself or within the wallet itself. So I can say switch account to Manda2. That is one of my other accounts that I have in the wallet. And it will confirm to you and it will, I'm already connected to Core Web here on the back end, which is why Core Web itself updated, but you can see that it does say that it switched to the appropriate account within the wallet. And then you can always tell it to switch back. And then you can see that Core Web is popped up on the back end too. It swapped the connected wallet, so that way it's showing the correct portfolio on the back end and lets you know within the concierge window as well that it has done that swap for you. As Max said earlier, one of the other very helpful ones is you can ask it to open different dApps. And even though we already have Core Web open, I'm just going to prompt it to open Core Web again. And the one thing it does ask for is the full URL when you are doing so. So make sure you just type the full thing in. And then it will pop up with Core Web. Like I said, it's already connected and open right here. So it would refresh the screen and it would pull up into a new tab. But being able to prompt Core extension to open dApps is very helpful. If you're not quite sure how to connect the wallet directly, it will handle that process for you. And it has made it very streamlined and helpful for the newer Web3 users that might not have experienced navigating through all of the dApps before.
Wait, oh, it actually connects the wallet too?
For Core Web, it does. I'm not sure about all other wallets unless the user has connected previously within the same session. Yeah. So if you're navigating through your dApps back and forth, but can't find the tab that you just have opened, if you say, oh, navigate back to LFJ, it should keep that connection for you.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's amazing. If you don't mind, if possible, could you show like how the bridging kind of looks too?
Yeah, let me see if I have enough funds to bridge in here. I might not with this wallet, but if that's the case, it will tell me. So that's always very helpful.
Which is also awesome. It gives you feedback.
And then if you do have a to approval step process, it will tell you that too, which is also super helpful. But it does have the approval window pop up. We'll say, oh yeah, let's get more free gas and click on approve. Like I said, my internet is a little bit slower. So the first transaction of the gas funding for it takes a second, but as you can see, it did kick off the bridge transaction and it is syncing right now. So
this is absolutely amazing. This is the future, everybody. Watch this. Well, this is actually now.
There it is. There's the bridge transaction has already been initiated, which if you go into the activity screen for the wallet too, you will be able to see the status of that bridge transaction as well.
For everyone out there who's ever bridged anything, we all know how much of a pain this is. Like this just happened in 20 seconds. Oh my goodness, this is amazing, man. I'm so happy for this product. You can't even believe, my eyes are starting to water. I do want to know, like, can we talk a little bit on the technical level, like how did Core Concierge kind of integrate with the broader Core Wallet ecosystem?
Yeah. So right now it is only in the extension. This is a bit of a trial run for us. So this came out in the extension, can do everything that you needed to do. You can see that it's integrated with Core Web. So we can open Core Web and you can change some things that are going on in there. Basically what we're going to do here is we're going to just wait and see what the community does with this. So if you're using Core, if you're using Core Concierge, give us some feedback, like tag us on Twitter, or sorry, on X. Use the feedback forum, send us, bug reports if you find them. We're going to make this thing better. We're going to, see how folks are using it. And then I think if it's going to, if it turns out to be, something people love and people like to use, we'll go ahead and push that into mobile and then maybe web as well. So you'll have this in your pocket and then on your computer.
And then what's kind of like the longer term vision as well? Are you planning to expand the kind of capabilities even further, or?
Absolutely. So I won't reveal too much, but right now it's kind of bare bones. It just does everything that Core does. But we would love to expand this feature, deeper into DeFi, maybe through suggested actions or suggested dApps. Maybe have it look at wallet balances and see, what tokens or what actions that you've taken, and it could do suggestions. Like if you're an NFT trader, maybe it could suggest, new and upcoming NFT projects, or if you're really into DeFi, it could suggest, certain transaction types or pools or things like that. I think there's a lot of stuff we could do. And before we do it, I want to see how people are using it. So go use it, go do stuff with it. That's going to be your vote on kind of where we go next.
And for everyone out there, I'm going to actually put this this banner up here too. Make sure you're following at Core App, but then also do exactly what Mac is saying. I've been speaking with the Core team for quite some time now, and they are very huge on listening to customer feedback. So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to help improve the overall experience for the Web3 onboarding experience, then please follow Core App. Go ahead and DM them with feedback on Core Concierge and the mobile UI, so we can make this thing better, my friends. And Mac and Amanda, just for everyone out there who's like listening, just in case someone might have just popped in now, what are some kind of key takeaways that you would like for everyone to kind of just take away from this stream here?
Yeah. So I think the key takeaway is that Core Concierge is your place to do crypto. If you need to do anything in Core, send, swap, receive, bridging, all the stuff that Amanda showed, you've got a place to do it. You got a chat box. It's really easy. You just tell it what you want it to do and it'll tee that up, and then you approve it, and you're good to go. You're on to the next thing.
Awesome. And for folks out there who aren't sure, how can they start using Core Concierge right now?
Yeah, that's an easy one. Go download the Core extension. We support Google Chrome, so in the Chrome store, download that, make sure it's installed, set up a wallet, and then you'll see it right on the home page when it opens up. Click on that button, and you can start interacting with Core Concierge.
And then mobile app in the App Store, my friends. Oof.
And the mobile, we're not there yet, so it's not quite in mobile, but we will be there. But there is the new redesign to play with on the mobile app. So go download that, check that out as well.
Awesome. I'm gonna pop this banner on up here one more time as well, just for everyone out there. Please make sure you're following at Core App. And I'm gonna give you a pro tip here, my friends. Bell notifications, please turn on bell notifications. The Core team is shipping, my friends, shipping very innovative things. And you want to make sure that you're informed about everything that's happening, my friends. For everyone out there, really appreciate you folks for popping on the day. I'm going to end this thing by once again saying follow at Core App. Thank you to Amanda. Thank you to Mac. And for everyone out there, peace and have a good rest of the day.
Thanks, Breevie.